Welcome back. We are covering 25 mistakes billionaires have made. The bigger the baller, the bigger the mistake. And number one is Michael Dell. And it's not because of his how much money he's made. He's I think worth right now about 38 billion at the time of this recording, give or take. And again, that will always fluctuate depending on what the market is doing based on the portfolio that he has. But again, before we get started with this, I want to ask you to do me the huge favor of clicking the positive feedback mechanism on whatever platform you happen to be watching or listening to this content on. It's greatly appreciated, lets the platform know that it's appreciated, and helps them distribute it to other like-minded folks like yourself. So we're going to jump into Michael Dell here. And I didn't pick him because of his net worth, right? I picked him because of the business that he's in. He was one of the early technology icons with Dell computers, started out of his college dorm room, I believe. And, his parents weren't really excited about him starting this business at the time. But obviously, Dell computers, is still around, and they've obviously morphed like most technology companies have and are doing in terms of cloud offerings and data and just different things like that. They have they're not just computers and PCs and laptops and anymore hardware, right? That being said, here's what I want to talk about, right? He got out of the gates early and really kind of took on the big boys, IBM and the different gateways and the different competitors at the time with his business model, which is pretty unique. I think I would encourage you to check out the playlist of business books that I recommend, and you can click on the playlist and go from there, but and find that. But his book is interesting that kind of details how he got the advantage. But here's the deal: he had that early run of success, made a lot of money, built the company up. But then as he got into it, he made a lot of missteps, right? I mean, he hurt a lot of personal and business relationships, alienated shareholders, lost money. Really didn't focus on where the consumer trends were going as well, which put Dell, the company, behind the eight ball, and then made some other financial missteps along the way that put the company in debt. Now, that being said, even with all those missteps and mistakes that he's made, after finding success, and I think you find a lot, several folks that have made mistakes after they found success, and Jeff Bezos is another one that is like that, right? But again, he did make those missteps, but here's the deal. And here's the true tell of what you've built is how it survives after you leave and after you step away, right? And sometimes knowing when to step away and hand the reins over to somebody else that can take it to the next step is critical in terms of your company's survival long-term, right? You can still make a lot of money, but you can ruin a company along the way. And those that have been magnanimous and stepping aside and knowing when to hand over the reins, for instance, Bill Gates to Steve Ballmer, right? I think Bill Gates knew that it was time, and Steve Ballmer did well for about 13 years, and he made mistakes. I covered him as well in this video series. But I think that Michael Dell didn't do that early enough. And I think that sometimes you're blinded or limited in terms of your capacity to take it to the next level. And it's your baby and you're very passionate about it and don't want to give it up. But knowing when to say when is critical, I think, long-term, if you want the company to survive. And that is the true tell of a company in terms of what you built, is how long it survives after you leave, right? And what legacy you leave. So that's the challenge I want to leave with you here. You can read up on his mistakes that he's made, well documented, but I want you to challenge you as you're building this whole thing to say, okay, when am I over my head? When do I maybe need to consider bringing in help or turning the reins over to somebody else as well? And you can make mistakes doing that as well. And I think that, Steve Jobs is another, study that you want to kind of check into and read his biography. There's mistakes there as well. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed the series. Feel free to share this video and the series with other folks. And again, do me the favor of clicking the positive feedback mechanism on whatever platform you're listening to this on. And we will talk to you at the next video.